So, anyways, I just that story just took me so many places. I felt, because who doesn't feel completely denigrated and disrespected? Like that character does. And I feel like we all
Yeah,
kind of feel like that. You and I, in
it's true.
particularly, on account of how we're constantly
Yeah.
disappointing the people who rely on us over and over and over again. So,
On a good day, I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. They knew what they were getting into when they gave birth to me, or they married me,
yeah, yeah,
or they decided to go into business with me or start a podcast with me.
yeah,
It's like you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
yeah. That's how I feel too.
That's on a good day. That's on a good day.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fantasy Cast podcast, where three grown men pass the time by sharing their deepest, darkest fantasies. Here we go.
So we got some breaking news. As of a couple hours ago, a red PT Cruiser crashed directly into Billy Corgan's tea shop in some suburb of Chicago, nearly crushing his
Deerfield.
8-year-old Deerfield. Yeah, nearly crushing his 8-year-old kid and injuring his mother-in-law. They don't know why the car crashed in. What was the cause of it? Man, what a crazy thing to have happen. I want to get your reactions on this, Mike.
There you are, sitting in Madame Zuzu's, trying to have some tea. It's a tea house. You're minding your own business. The election's coming up. You just saw Smashing Pumpkins at the Aragon Ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, my phone died. Son of a goddamn bitch. Oh my god. Nathan, I gotta charge my phone. It's got all my notes on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you tell me what you think. You think it's Diddy related? You think it's politic related? Because he's a little bit on the right side. And, you let me know.
Well,
Okay,
I was thinking it might have been Diddy related. It might have been politics related. Like I'm definitely not going to rule either of those two things out. But once I found out it was a PT Cruiser, that eliminated a lot of different things for me. It's not Diddy related. There's no way anybody associated with Diddy would drive a PT Cruiser. I don't think it's politics related because nobody who's politically active drives a PT Cruiser by any stretch. And so then my brain went to, okay, maybe it was an old person. Maybe they're off their meds or they had like a health issue while driving and lost control of the car. But old people don't drive PT Cruisers, people in their mid 40s drive PT Cruisers. So then I started thinking DUI, and that's not out of the realm of possibility by any stretch, and that is probably, Occam's razor here, probably the most likely scenario. But it happened at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So, it's not unlikely that there was some, day drinking alcoholic who lost control of the vehicle. But then I started thinking, okay, well, what's the next logical step, right? Okay, so it's not an old person having medical issues. It's not a drunk having a
you think it's
DUI
personal?
because early in the morning. No, I think it was the third leading cause of car crashes is guys getting sucked, and so I think it was a guy getting sucked, and he lost control of his car while he was getting sucked and rammed it into a Billy Corgan's museum. So think about
let me
it.
correct you. It's not a museum. It's a tea house.
Oh, his tea house. Got it. Yeah, his tea house. And so, like, imagine the luck of the draw on that one. How bad your luck is. Like, you could crash into any storefront in that whole wealthy suburb. And you crash into the most psychotic rock star with a shitload of just pent up anger, bizarre political beliefs.
Couple things about him. He was on Howard Stern.
Uh-huh.
He claims that a shapeshifter approached him. A woman took him he was in a situation with a woman. She shapeshifted before his very eyes. That's one.
Completely insane.
2, he has that condition of your skin where it's very blotchy and red.
Yeah.
It looks like a big birthmark. That's
Yeah.
all over his hands. No one knows about this. 3,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this place. The food looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh God, does it look good? I want to go. Madam
Yeah.
Zuzu.
I bet the tea there is outstanding.
Dude, next time you're in town, we're going.
Hey, check this idea out.
Hit me up, man. What's up? Shoot.
Maybe it was somebody who just enjoyed a nice panini sandwich, and they're like, you know what? I'm a little tense. I'm a little wound up. I got a lot going on. Maybe I drank too much coffee that morning. I'm gonna take a sip of I'm gonna have an order of their sleepy time tea to go. You know, they're sitting maybe playing on their phone in the car while they're getting ready to drive out. Sipping on their
Yeah.
sleepy time, getting a little bit drowsy. As soon as they take off, you know, it goes straight to their head, hits them. They pull a Yui and crash directly back into the restaurant that they bought the sleepy time tea from.
It's a PT Cruiser, you think?
Yeah. You stepped out, but yeah, I deducted because it was a PT Cruiser. I deducted it couldn't be Diddy related because there's nobody associated with Diddy that would drive that car. Couldn't have been an old
Yeah.
person because with health issues because they don't drive those cars. It could have been a DUI, but it happened at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So that's unlikely just by the numbers. And so that's how I came to it. Must have been a guy getting sucked. Or somebody who was loopy off that sleepy time, that teddy bear tea. You know the kind I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Billy
yeah.
Billy
I don't like
Corgan's
that.
version of that teddy bear tea.
Okay, his version. That's okay. I didn't want to
Yeah.
correct you, but I'm supposed to agree with
Yeah.
everything you say. But sometimes you say stuff, and I'm just not sure if I agree with it. But when you phrase it as a Billy Corgan sleepy time tea, then it made sense to me.
Probably had some anise in there. Probably had some passion flower. Definitely valerian root. Definitely chamomile. A couple other things just to give it some
Rooibos,
flavor.
probably.
Rooibos.
And maybe even a little bit of like coconut milk. Just give a little bit of fatty stuff in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of chunga too. I would
Turkey
love to go
tail.
there. I'm stretched thin. I thought like money wise, but I looked at my credit limit. I just got an Amazon credit card. This thing I had so much fucking credit
Oh,
that
really?
I don't use. Okay, collectively on one card I have like $10,000 worth of credit, and I'm only using like $500 of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. And another credit card, I have like a limit up to like 6,000. I probably only have like $1,000 on it.
Yeah.
So combined, I have like $15,000. I can do with whatever I want with any time I want.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And
freedom.
I just feel so grateful,
Yeah.
know, that I have that. That is so cool.
Yeah, your fingertips. You can do whatever you want with that. So I mean, when you got off the computer after checking that credit limit, what was the first thing that popped into your head? Like, in case of emergency, break glass, take this 15 grand and do what?
Well, election's right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
God knows what's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be. Well, I don't want to talk negatively. Because if you suggest that something might happen, sometimes it might happen.
Right, sure.
So let me start again. If I have that money, first thing comes to mind, small business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that's like frozen yogurt or streetwear, maybe. I mean, what do we play? What a juice bar? Places that like you see get into a neighborhood, they're there for a long time and they're rooted in there and become a part of a community for a really, 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 really long time.
Yeah.
Frozen yogurt, juice bar, salad, a place that specializes in salad.
Mm-hmm.
Or like one of these like bourgeois grocery stores that's like really small and everything's so curated and none of it ever sells. They have like one item that everyone buys because it's like the only place in the city that you can get like a certain kind of ghee or some shit like that.
Right.
Maybe something like that. I get a bunch of young people to work there. They inspire me. They're like really hot. I get to play matchmaker with them. And it all blows up in my face because I just get a little too comfortable with them and they realize they're not making enough money, and then they like ruin my name by saying like I'm like skeezy or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep a couple of that 15 grand for some lawyers.
Yeah, a couple thou.
Make them all sign NDAs.
Yeah.
That's
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What'd you do for Halloween? It's Halloween tonight. It's a spooky night, and
well, I went trick or treating. I just sent this image over of this pretty sexy house that we came across. I thought it was pretty sexy. Like, every year there's that one house that kind of pushes the limits of like what they can get away with.
Absolutely.
Whether it's like scary or spooky or like bloody or whatever, they just kind of push it. And there's a couple people in my neighborhood. I used to do this when I had more time, but they would, they try to make it a little bit sexy, something for the adults, because trick or treating with your kids, it gets kind of boring after a while. So something sexy for the adults. So I came across this one. I thought I'd take a picture. I just sent it in the chat. Sent it to you guys before. Nobody commented on it. Wondering if you guys didn't see it or if you just didn't find it interesting.
Yeah,
but it's a gigantic inflatable minion dressed up like Dracula. The minions are those yellow guys, look like garbage cans from the movies. And the guy had whose house it was, don't know him, but tip of the hat to him for making something so sexy. Took an inflatable banana, attached it to where his penis would be, so it looks like he's got a gigantic hard penis. The matching of the yellow from the banana doesn't quite match the yellow from the minion, but that's okay because you get the idea. And it's laying across a grill, like a Weber grill, and there's a sign next to it that says "Happy Halloweeny." Like it's a hot dog, it's a weenie, like he's grilling up a weenie.
Yeah, weenie, greening up like a weenie. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, is it custom, or do you think that they made that?
It's definitely custom. I don't think somebody made that. But just what came to mind, and why I thought it was so sexy, is just imagine just being out there with yourself. You know what I mean? Like you just step out onto your lawn and you just let it hang out. You just let your sexuality just emanate out into the world. Like this minion guy was doing. How sexy is that? And then just to have the freedom and the like, I don't know, sexual ambition to just throw that thing over a grill that shit up, like a hot dog. It was very liberating, very freeing. I thought it was pretty sexy.
Inspiring too. That's really interesting. You didn't really ask, but I dressed up as Kamala.
Oh, cool.
Normally I was like, Halloween, this is for children. This is something I want to expose my kid to. Yeah. I'm trying to get them into
I just want
a Montessori sort of situation. Wait, go on.
I just want to make it clear to everybody, Mike isn't white, so it's not like a blackface thing.
You didn't need to say that. I'm going to address that. So I saw Halloween is like apolitical, and I was just like, how can I spread the word about the upcoming election? Maybe there's some people on the fence who don't know who to vote for. Those are the ones you got to shoot for. So, so these people that don't know. And so I dressed up as Kamala Harris, and as I'm putting the makeup on, I'm thinking like, is this right? Is this wrong? And then I just thought like, it's people do drag race all the time. You know what I mean? They do like drag stuff. I was just like, this is just drag. You know what I mean? And like, sure, it's kind of like minstrelly or something like that. You are an exaggerated stereotype that's of a character that's really out of control with their emotions and is really indulgent and like not so smart. And I was like, we'll just roll with that. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like an American tradition. So I'm dressing up like Harris and I'm going around, and I dressed up my daughter as an early vote, like mail ballot, like pre-stamped.
Cool. That must be so cute.
And it was so cute. And my wife I made her just take pictures with us of it. She's kind of going through some stuff with me right now. And sure enough, I mean, I guess I was coming on strong or something. People they don't like it. They're just trying to have a good time. And it took some hands-on like persuasion to like have me relax. And boy, was I glad I did. because it was a great time. I love seeing like my little girl have fun with civilians going around and eating candy. They're normally not around like I don't like her around like normal kids a lot
Mm-hmm.
because that is kind of not what we do in our family.
Right.
But whatever, I had some candy. I'm feeling buzzed right now. I got a Gatorade, and all in all, I learned a couple things, and I'm ready to have a good time.
I really like that idea of you being like doubling your holiday thing as a civic lesson for your daughter, community outreach. You know, Halloween is a time where you get to be edgy. You know, you get to show a part of
Yes.
yourself that you don't normally show, and nobody can really. You can be whoever you want to be. You know, and
I like to
yeah, I
think
mean,
so.
yeah, I just think that's a brilliant strategy. I don't want to get into anything too.
It's
I'm
just so in the
hesitant.
air right now.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know.
hesitant because I don't want to get into make any kind of political jokes because I don't know who's listening to this and who has opinions on one candidate or the other. But I'll just say that you dressing up as Kamala, and I'm guessing that knowing you're probably 3 sheets to the wind by the time you left the door, stepped out the door.
Mhm.
Probably on some pretty heavy cold medication, allergy medication, and you're
That's all I can do now.
probably pretty loopy out there. Just having a good time, just staying loose, and I think that's the way to embody
Sudafed does this
Kamala.
crazy
You know,
thing. You've taken a lot of Sudafed. I've taken a lot of Sudafed. We both have allergies. It
I
does
love
this
it.
thing where you take it and you feel dry,
Mm-hmm.
like the inside of your face is like a desert. It gives you a headache, and it also makes every interaction you have with people hyper aggressive without you having
Yes.
control over it.
Yeah, and you get that tingly thing in your scalp when you pee.
Yes. It's very uncomfortable, but since
That's like the
I'm
dragon that I chase.
well, we're sober people,
Mhm.
and so yeah, cough medicine stuff like that. I always find ways to sneak it in.
Yeah.
Even if I like ate like a bunch of chili, I like feel like oh I'm inflamed. I should take some Dayquil, or I ate too much ice cream. I should take some
Mhm.
Sudafed before I go to bed. And
Yeah.
now I'm too awake, and now I have to take NyQuil and like a fistful of magnesium gummies. Just make like a ball of magnesium gummies. I'm just like licking it in my palm.
Yeah.
Every time I wake up, I just take another little bite. And when I wake up, it's just like in the shape of my hand.
Yeah. Yeah, top that off with some A1 greens, about a bottle and a half of Robitussin, and you're not going to wake up. Yeah.
Do you guys have chili? Halloween chili?
Not Halloween chili, but God, I love a good chili.
I also did a drag performance. Well, no, I'm sorry. I did a Kamala performance in front of the house
Yeah.
with like just an amp with a microphone I got from Radio Shack before they closed, and I covered Heroes by David Bowie.
Oh God, that must have been fun.
I got like way into it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. What else is going on?
I don't know, man. It's been a while. I'm editing the last episode that we did with Brooke. It's funny and exciting. I guess we're slowing down production. I don't know. You want to hear some of my notes? I have a full fantasy, but like, try this on for size.
Sure.
I picture a young guy,
Yeah.
20s, wears a V-neck. Not a V-neck anymore. These days, a normal white guy, he has kind of like a mushroom top, sort of. I
Right.
don't know if it's a mushroom top. What is it? It's like the sides are shaped, but it's like there's like a loaf of bread on top.
Yeah.
What kind
I
of
know what
hair
you're
is
talking
that?
about. Like
It's like influencer hair.
Yeah. Seth Rogen had that for a while.
They're kind of like buff. They're always buff. They always wear shorts with like white socks and like black gym shoes. This kind of guy, picturing him at a party, and he's like really upset. Everyone's trying to console him because he broke up with his girlfriend. And he's like threatening to kill himself. And people are like, what's going on? What was it about her? And he's just like, she was just really, really good looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he has no other things to say about her, but he's like, and when you hear that, you're like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, you're gonna kill yourself because you're upset because she's just like really good looking, and he's, you know what I mean? Like you smell something's fishy. It's like he doesn't have like a real emotional connection, and it
Yeah.
just that as a character sketch. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
who is this guy? Is he in the closet and he's just being dramatic? Is
Sure.
he that superficial, which seems like impossible? That's just something I was just thinking about.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's a sketch.
Yeah. Getting in the mind of a guy like that is always really, and just poking around is always really interesting. Would love to see what leads to a guy with a haircut like that having that kind of brain.
There's nothing else. There's nothing to chew on there. That's
Well,
just my ideas.
I got a little idea I want to throw out there.
Okay, I'm listening.
So it's again, we keep talking about it's political season, election season, blah blah blah, whatever. Everybody's sick of it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But just as by way of introduction, you have a president who has this, just everything is kind of like blah blah blah, regular president, nothing too crazy, 50% approval rating, except he has a very strong position, very strong anti-dildo position, and he through executive order, outlaws dildos throughout the whole country, all the way from butt plugs to regular standard dildos to vibrators to bullets to anything used, any device used for sexual stimulation, gone. And it's such a weird thing that no like senator or person in the opposition or whatever wants to take it up as a cause, like fight for these dildos, because they don't want to be seen as the person that's like fighting for dildos, even though it is a pretty crazy thing. And so there's this dildo ban, in the country, and people are really struggling out there because they don't have dildos, and so they start they have to use the existing dildos. They have like a dildo buyback program, so you bring in your dildos and they give you money, but a lot of people keep them, and so as time goes on, second term, there's still no dildos, and people are like, the dildos that they used to have are like breaking and getting old and wearing down. So they like piece together a bunch of like 3 different parts of a dildo to make one dildo. I'm thinking like what they do with cars in Cuba, It's like the car imports kind of like got cut off in the 60s, I think. So they just use a bunch of old cars and they just keep rehabbing them. So people are just like, making their own lube, making their own dildos. And so the new election happens.
This is like go on.
New president comes in, the ban is lifted. They just kind of like, they don't want to be the dildo president, but they just kind of like reverse the executive order one day, don't tell anybody, and the streets just get flooded with dildos. And how like during COVID they had like, a place that made like cloth products would make masks, and distilleries would make hand sanitizer. You have distilleries making lube, you have like people who make back massagers and toothbrushes and other plastic things making dildos, and just getting them out there as soon as possible. And just everybody's super happy because now they have these like standard quick turnaround dildos that they're just like flooding in from China and stuff.
They have dildos at Walgreens and CVS now and Target. You know what I mean? It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
So like maybe when the ban is gone, they like turbo boost that sort of environment. They'll have a whole aisle that's like really horny, sexy, sexual.
Yeah.
It's not even sexy or sexual because it's used to masturbate lonely people mostly, I'd say.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you say that's true? I'd like to see the numbers on like who's using the dildos. Is it mostly couples or is it individuals who are lonely and need like sexual gratification that way?
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would spend it, but I mean, imagine going to a grocery store with your family and there's like a aisle that's just like covered over. It's all dark and stuff, like during Halloween time, and there's like dildo like skeletons and stuff like that, and like, you go in there and it's just integrated fully in normal life.
And it
seems to
seems
be ashamed of.
no, and it seems almost like novel and exciting, like when Like when you and I were growing up, like you had to get, dime bags of ditch weed from a guy at the
Yeah.
park. And now
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have just like weed stores, and it's just like completely blows your mind if you think about it. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
that, like you walk into a Walgreens all of a sudden overnight, there's a whole aisle where you have pocket pussies and those magic wands and stuff like that.
And there's like
Because
salesmen and stuff. There's like,
yeah,
hey, what are you doing? What's your dildo style or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah, like
So that's something that would like
carnival
turn.
bark.
This is a fantasy, but does this turn you on? Is this like this turns you on? Like thinking about like a world like that?
Well, what turned me on is thinking about a world where people, like you come, like you're running back to your house, you have a like a napkin or a handkerchief, something inside of it, right? And you're sprinting back to your house, and you bust into the door, and like you and your partner are like, you bring it to the kitchen table, and you open it up, and it's like a plastic nub, and you don't know what it is, and then it's the third piece of a dildo that you guys are fabricating. You finally found the last piece of the dildo. You've
It's
bartered,
interesting.
you
You would appreciate it more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like having all those restrictions actually gives your life so much more value,
Mm-hmm.
so much more joy and excitement in a way.
Yeah, like you bartered
Whereas
some kind of like thing that was important to you, like a necklace,
gold tooth or
gold
something.
tooth, yeah, for this third piece of a dildo that would fit the other two pieces that you had.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's a dark future.
Do you find
we'll
that
see what
interesting?
I think it's interesting that you're interested in it. It doesn't do much for me. You know what I mean? There's not like an interpersonal dynamic happening. You know what I mean? It's more airy, and it's like world building.
Yeah.
But I feel like I connect more to like a narrative of people, and the like.
Well, hang
and like who they are,
put a pin in that.
That's me though. I'm saying I don't want to discourage you. I think I want to encourage you.
But put a pin in that when you're talking about a hypersexualized world, because I got something for that in my main fantasy.
Okay, that means I should kick it off. I should go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is something I wrote earlier on today. I just kind of let the spirit take over.
Mm.
I just I got some things going on in my life, and I use fantasies to make sense of my world. So we'll see how this turned out. I don't know what the deal is with it. Okay. I take the train every day to work at an office job.
I wake up and I think of a reason not to do it every single day.
Every morning, I like to go to the washroom. And every morning, the door is propped open. And every morning, I kick the doorstop out of the door. And I go to the bathroom. And every day when I come back at lunchtime, that doorstop is back in the door. And nothing makes me more angry. One day, I found someone had put the doorstop in my desk, in my drawer. And I was looking around the office. I stood up, and I'm looking around, and everyone's busy in their cubicles. No one's looking at me.
Are you even paying attention to me right now?
And I sit back down, and I realize I got a message. Blink! From the Office System Instant Messaging Network. And the message says, "What are you looking for?" I ask them, "Who is this?" Someone replies, "Someone that is very, very horny for you." And I type, "Who are you? Please let me know." And I get no response.
Oh, hi.
A couple hours later, I type in, "Please, I'm really distracted and horny."
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I take the train home, and the entire car is filled with women, and they are all pissed off at me for no reason. The car is packed with women. They keep shoving me around. Wherever I stand is the wrong place to stand, and they push me and shove me until I'm shuddering in the corner. A seat opens up, and a woman shoves me out of the way to take the seat. Guess I won't be sitting there. Another seat opens up, I look around, and everyone's glaring at me, disgusted with me that I want to sit down. I take the seat. The woman next to me keeps flipping her hair on my shoulder, and it's not like light hair. It's like hair that's weighty and covered in oil, slightly curled. She keeps playing with it, combing it, whipping it, spraying different sprays on it, and it keeps hitting me. I'm terrified to say anything. She says, "You got a problem?" And I say, your hair keeps... She says, "Speak up, I can't hear you. Do you got a problem? You keep looking at me." And I say, "Your hair keeps hitting me, hurting me." And she says that I'm a little bitch then. And she kept asking me what I'm going to do about it. And I got off the train early. I walked the rest of the way home. While walking home, I slip on some ice while carrying my groceries. And I'm holding my knee and hyperventilating. And a man that looks like the guy from that movie, Shame. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? What's that actor's name?
God. It's not Mitchum, is it?
No. It's like a German guy. Fassbender.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's right. It's Fassbender. He's walking his dog. And he's just staring at me as I'm lying on the ground. And I'm in pain, hyperventilating. He just looks at me. His dog is digging through my groceries that are scattered all over the sidewalk. And his dog grabs the rotisserie chicken and they walk away with it. I get up as soon as I have the power and ability to, and I limp home. At home, I'm actually rich. I live in a really nice place with a beautiful woman and a son. And they both hate me, needless to say.
Welcome home, Charlie Brown.
When I walk to the door, I say hello. They both ignore me. The boy is looking at his iPod, and the wife is just staring out the window. Rigid, completely stone-like. I'm a little irritated and feeling a little vulnerable. And so I say maybe they didn't hear me. I say hello a little bit louder, and she yells at me. "What?" she yells. "What do you want from me?" I'm an absolute victim. I'm a piece of garbage, undeserving of love. But I guess it's my fault. Somehow.
Everybody wants to show the happy side. I'm mad as hell today! But because I have responsibilities, I'm gonna do these freaking dishes.
In the middle of the night, I go to the gym. I have a whole community of people there that can't sleep. So we all work out together. One guy's wife and daughters hate him, so he comes to the gym at night to work out, blow off steam. Another guy's girlfriend doesn't like him. And another guy is shy and afraid of women. And so he can't go to sleep. So he works out just to have a place to go, to not feel alone. I do chin-ups side by side with him. Sometimes we'll be on the same bar. He'll go up while I'm down, and then I'll go up while he's down. One time we went up at the same time and we kissed on each other's lips. It was cute, not sexual. It was fun. A woman was upset with us because we were all laughing, giving each other high fives and stuff. She videotaped us on her phone. She put it online. The next morning, everyone was making fun of us. My wife saw it, and my son said he was embarrassed of me. And so now, I don't go to the gym anymore. They took that away from me too. At work, I'm in the bathroom again, and I'm looking at my phone on the facilities. And I hear someone in heels walk in. I peek under the door, and I see them sitting in the stall next to me. They sit and use the facilities, urinating. I'm terrified and a little turned on, and I basically hold my breath until she leaves, begging, praying she doesn't notice that I'm in there. When they leave, I fall to the floor, and I'm trying to catch my breath so bad. It's like in a movie or something. I run out into the hallway as soon as I am able to be strong enough to do that, and I'm looking for the woman with the shoes. Who was she? Did she have something to do with the doorstop? Oh, I forgot to mention. In the bathroom, she took out the doorstop. Did I mention that? So this was the person that sent me the message. I bust into an office room and completely forgot that I was supposed to be in a meeting, but I forgot about it. The boss seems to not care at all. Everyone gives their presentation, and everyone is glaring at me and saying things like, well, that's the end of my presentation. Not that it's important or anything. And then they'll give me a stare. Or they'll hit me in the back of the head as they're on their way up to give their presentation. Stuff like that. Then I give my presentation, and everyone is rolling their eyes and yawning really loud. When everything is done, the boss says, well, everything looks good and fine to me. You all move ahead with all that is planned. All is well and good. When he leaves the meeting room, there's a moment of silence. And everyone just tears into me about how unprofessional I am, how disrespectful and hateful I am. And they are all smiling. They are enjoying making fun of me immensely. Some of them are aroused. There's one guy that I work with, and he is just silent the entire time. And as people are looking at him, I'm looking at him to see if he will defend me, because we go to the gym together sometimes, or at least we used to before they took that away from us. And I see stains growing larger and larger on his shirt from his sweat. And I whimper, Steven, do you think that I'm that bad? The room gets silent. And he just starts talking. At first, like he's going to defend me. He says, like, you're a strong worker. You're very good at what you do. You know, building it up. You're in good shape. You're a dedicated family man. And then he just flips. But what you did today was the biggest embarrassment I've ever seen in my goddamn life. You know what I mean? He just starts screaming at me, saying I'm an abomination. I'm a crime against God. And I'm single-handedly bringing down this entire team. Do I not care about their family? Do I not care about their friends? I wet my pants, and everyone goes silent. And they're like, oh my God. They're like lifting me up. They grab both my arms, like holding me up. And I'm like sagging in between two people, and they're like videotaping with their phones the urine stain on my pants. They punched me. They threw me against the wall a couple times. And they pulled down my pants, and they start making fun of my body parts, my private parts. They hit me and they punched me some more. They used their bare butts to hold me down in the dimly lit meeting room on the big table. And the speakerphone is like under my private parts, like my bottom. My bottom is on it, and they keep calling it so it vibrates, and they're basically talking and screaming into me. It feels kind of good, but it's also very scary and humiliating. They are using the weight of their bare bottom to hold me flat on the table and using a candle to pour melted wax on me. Then they throw flour and milk on me and say that I am a little cake monster. The door opens up and a beautiful woman that is wearing heels walks in, wearing lingerie. She's beautiful and has big hair, a perfect form. She mounts me and is holding me down while having sex with me. Then I find that some of the restraint used against me is loosened up. Their bare bottoms have disappeared. And I'm able to get into contact with this. I'm really able to get into it with this woman, putting on a show for the other coworkers. And we're really connecting. And I'm really connecting with this mysterious woman who is giving me eye contact the entire time, whispering to me, guiding me, telling me what a good guy I am. We conversely bust on each other. Our contractions in perfect unison, so strong that it actually hurts us. And I fall asleep. When I wake up, I'm in a hospital bed. And I'm severely brain damaged, and my wife has never been happier in her entire life. For the next few weeks, I do basically anything she wants to do. I'm her human doll. I go to Trader Joe's with her, the museum. We go out to eat. We watch what she wants to watch, when she wants to watch it. Just like most toys, a couple weeks, she gets bored and disgusted with me. She takes me to a bridge and just pushes me off the bridge. And I drown to death, and no one gives a shit about me or goes to my funeral. The end.
What do you fucking want from me, man? Do you want my time? Do you want my energy? Do you want my love? Are you just here to take shit from me? Or are you a genuine fucking person that's here to actually show me something real? Because majority of people in this world, especially in this generation, bro, a lot of y'all just not fucking real. Like, let's be honest. I'm tired of allowing temporary people into my life. I'm tired of meeting people and they're here the next day and then gone tomorrow. Like at this point, I'd just rather be by myself. At least then I'll receive more peace. So to the next person I meet, please let me know what the fuck you want from me. Whether you're a friend, a girlfriend, a coworker, an acquaintance. If you want something from me, just tell me what it is that you want. I'll end up respecting you 10 times more if you tell me now instead of me finding out later. Whether it's good or if it's bad, just let me know. This goes out to the last dying breed of this world. All you real people, stay real. And never
What a
forget.
harrowing tale of true tragedy. But you know what? God, what a okay. So here you are, this guy
What's up, man?
that is lower than dog shit. Like people, they go out of their way to let you know how little you mean to them. Not only that, but they're just like actively trying to. It's not even like they're dismissive of you. They're just like actively trying to humiliate and degrade you, make it sure that you know how unimportant you are to them, and a disappointment, and how you annoy and infuriate them. And then there's this woman, it's total mystery, doesn't know much about you. You don't know much about her. And here you are being sexually humiliated in this office building. And she walks into the room and she just takes charge of that room. Like she has the energy of that room pulsating through her. Everybody's eating out of their
She's
hand.
different.
She's different. She walks on that boardroom table with her heels, clickety clack, walks over to you and just slowly sits on it. You know,
wow.
there you guys are in the middle of the office. What a breath, what a relief. Just like all this pain and anger and sadness just wash away. And you guys have just beautiful anal sex, right?
I'm seeing
right there.
Wait, I'm sorry.
You have just this beautiful anally sexual episode in front of all your coworkers.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, that is kind of like it. It's like the only person that I connect with is this one mystery woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she sees me for the first time.
Yeah.
In the story.
Yeah.
And I should correct you. I didn't, while I was writing this, I didn't envision anal sex. I just figured it would be like normal intercourse.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that brings an element that's a little different, but I guess it's on the table. I mean, if someone wanted to retool this for like a movie or like an episode of Red Shoe Diaries or something like that, maybe it could be like a one-off, like a TV series. They use this story for like a dopey character. And it's like we follow him for one day. You know what I mean? Like they do that sometimes. It's like, oh, remember that episode where it's like that character? It's just that character. That was refreshing. Broke up the season a little bit.
Yeah. Well, apologies. It wasn't anal sex. It was just regular sex, but it was powerful nonetheless and still very sexy. And, and then you just wake up in the hospital and it's like any kind of you get this light. It's like the cloudy day and just some sunlight comes through at just at your lowest moment. And then it goes away. And only does it go away.
Well, it's like I'm happy too, though. I forgot to say that. Like, even though I have like brain damage, but I'm like happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm having a good time.
Wow. Okay, cool. That's that, so you're just, so the last thing you have like a cognitive understanding of before your brain was severely damaged is this amazing sexual encounter,
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. And you're just this.
My wife is like, okay, Mike, it's time. Well, let's say the character's name is like Roger. Okay, Roger, why don't you climb over the side of the bridge now?
Yeah.
Bye, Roger.
Right.
Let go of the railing. And I'm like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah. God, what a relief.
So
that like, feeling you get, you've just eaten a great meal. You just watched a fantastic movie. You're just, had an embrace that you just wanted to last forever. You're feeling this warmth and you're carrying that feeling with you. Boom, you get brain damage. You can't unfeel that feeling, and then it's just stuck in that feeling and then you die and you take that feeling with you to the afterlife,
Do you think that's how it goes?
I mean, that's where that's my personal vision, which is why I want to go out on just completely high out of my mind, racing down, going like 120 miles an hour, having some kind of sexual experience, and just slam right into a brick wall. And then I take that into the
interesting.
afterlife.
Or like a cafe or something.
Yeah, or I'm at a Parisian cafe, just like looking out into the world.
No, I mean, you drive into like a cafe or
Yeah,
like a tea house or something.
Yeah. And I slightly injure a rock star's mother-in-law.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, I just, that story just took me so many places. I felt, because who doesn't feel completely denigrated and disrespected, like that character does? And I feel like we all kind of feel like that. You and I, particularly, on account of how we're constantly disappointing the people who rely on us over and over and over again. So
on a good day, I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. They knew what they were getting into when they gave birth to me, or they married me.
Yeah.
Or they decided to go into business with me or start a podcast with me.
Yeah.
It's like you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
Yeah. That's how I feel too.
That's on a good day.
Yeah. I wish I had that outlook. See, that's why I'm very, I feel like I've got a lot to learn from you, because usually my approach is, on a good day, I'm like scraping and begging and pleading with people to like me and treat me better and respect me, like groveling and trying to make everybody happy at the same time, and trying to endure myself to people through like just totally transparent acts of
like buying them stuff.
Yeah, kindness, and
like they'll mention like they like offhandedly mention that they like a Monster energy drink.
Yeah.
Like a father at like daycare.
Yeah.
You're waiting in front to pick up your kid. He mentions, I had a Monster energy drink once. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You show up the next day with like a 24-pack of Monster energy drinks to just gift to him.
Yeah. I'm like, here you go, man. I was just thinking about you, and I wanted to give this to you. And
you're staring at him with like mouth open, like.
Yeah, I just say that.
It's just like, what does he want? The guy's like, oh, thank you. Like, what am I supposed to do now?
Right. Yeah.
I just had to drink this. You like, drink it. Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, and that's a good day for me. It's a good day. So I get what you're saying. I'll buy my kid's teacher at school little gifts, send it with her, be like, I thought you might like this, and it's like a pin of like a Buffalo Bills pin, because I know her teacher likes the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? Little just bizarre boundary overreaches.
Yeah.
Gifts.
Gift giving.
Yeah. Gift giving, saying nice things that are clearly just like compliments of people that I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a real bad thing to do. It takes, I struggle with it too. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I do all the time. You really don't want to, talk. You don't want to ask people questions about their lives, mention any shared experiences, even if it's like happening in front of both of you. Let's say you're in a room. Here's a test. You're in a room with someone, another parent, and your kids are playing together. The room is like the size of a closet.
Yeah.
How do you open?
Okay, we're playing in a room the size of the closet. Kids are playing. I'm sitting there with the other parent.
Yeah.
I'm like,
there's not even room to sit down.
There's not even room to sit down. I say, God, I've always just really appreciated how smart your kid is. And I know that they get it from you. They must.
Okay.
You must be.
All right. Well,
you know what I mean?
Wrong. You don't do or say anything to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See? You don't say or do anything to them. You pretend you have nothing in common. You don't belong to a community at all.
Yeah. You don't want to be there.
You're never going to see them ever again, even though you you see them all the time.
Yeah.
When I act like you've never, well, okay, whatever. You get the picture.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah, that's a good.
Bears lost. Are you going to still follow the Bears?
Yeah, I'll follow the Bears. Why not?
Even though they lost? Okay. Are they playing Sunday?
I'm not gonna give them as much of my love as I did before.
They failed you.
It definitely failed me. I'm sick of scolding them. I'm sick of
tried everything.
I've yelled at my TV. I've yelled at my phone. I've yelled at other people. I've yelled at my family members who are Bears fans. Nothing seems to work, so I've just kind of given up, If they want to come talk to me, they know where I am.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
Yeah.
I don't jump ship, do I?
No, you just passively engage with it. And once I start doing...
Okay. Until the Super Bowl.
Yeah. If they
Until
start
it's like
doing
Super
good
Bowl
again, then
time.
you can actively engage in it, because life's too short to spend your Sundays watching bad and getting pissed off.
I just like the energy, the commercials a little bit.
Yeah, the commercials are great.
Makes me feel connected to something,
Yeah, like a bigger part of the culture.
Yeah.
You can see what like regular people are consuming.
Exactly.
Oh,
all right, hit me, dude.
Okay, so this is a kind of been boiling in my brain for a while. Culmination of a couple different fantasies I've had over the past couple of weeks.
I'm ready to come.
Okay, good. I think this one might be the one that makes you actually come. So I'm a security guard, a night watchman at like some kind of technology facility somewhere in some university. And it's a career change for me. I blew out my knees in the dick-sucking mines, and I needed another job, one that wasn't as hard on my body. So I got this job as a night watchman. And so basically I just sit at a desk and monitor some surveillance footage and just, it's not like a lot's going on there, but it's this facility that is playing around with the idea of time travel. It's all pretty high security stuff. But me as the night watchman, I kind of have clearance, so I get to kind of like snoop around a little bit during my time if I get bored. My injuries, the blowing out my knees at my last job, gave me like a kind of nerve damage up and down my legs. So I've had difficulties achieving and maintaining an erection since I left my job. And I've been to doctors and I've run some tests, and they're like, yeah, the nerve endings that lead to your dick are kind of shot. We suggest that you order some Blue Chew and see what happens there. So I live with my mom, so I don't want to have it sent to my house. I have the Blue Chew sent to this facility where I work. And so it gets there and I'm super excited. I rip it open with my teeth. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to take it at work. See what happens. So I pop a Blue Chew, and believe it or not, that stuff works. It's discreet. It comes in a discreet package. It's all the benefits of generic Viagra without a pill in it, and it works much faster. You just pop it in your mouth, you chew it, and sure enough, I get an erection. So I duck away to a room in this facility, and I climb inside this device, which I know to be like a prototype of like a time travel machine, right? And so they've been working on this thing. This is just kind of like what I've overheard. Being there and snooping around, they've been working at this thing, and they have like a connector point where they connect one signal to the other signal, like the present, the past. And they haven't found a material that will connect the two. Right, so they just haven't been successful in time travel. They've tried uranium, they've tried aluminum, they've tried all sorts of different metals and whatever. So there I am in this time travel device, and I'm rock hard. I've just taken this Blue Chew, and I take my pants off, and I start to rub my penis with my hand in a pretty straightforward way, nothing fancy. It's extraordinarily sensitive at this point because I haven't ejaculated, let alone been hard in so long, that I'm just exploring and playing with a little bit, slapping it around, seeing like, okay, what does this Blue Chew do? I'm not necessarily trying to bust, but I end up busting this fucking massive goop of clown, and it falls splat right into this container that is like the conductor of the signal. And for whatever reason, my clown fit the connected the signal, and this time machine goes off, and I'm blasted back into the 16th century. So there I am in Germany, 16th century, bubonic plague, just absolute death and depravity, 30 years war, all this other shit, going on. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? I pieced together in my brain that my rope, like the cum that shot out of my dick, was the trigger for this time machine. And if I'm ever going to get back to the future, I have to figure out a way to get some cum in there. I don't have any Blue Chew. It's a fucking 16th century. Where am I going to find Blue Chew? You know what I mean? So I'm doing everything I can to try to get my dick hard, and just nothing's working. So I go to go into town in the brothels, and I dress up like a woman, and I start getting guys off and trying to steal their nut. Which is hard for me to do because I still have the old injuries from the blowjob mines. But all that to say, I still have the chops down. So I'll go to the brothel. I'll get a guy's nut. Maybe I'll keep it in my mouth. Go back to the time machine, spit it in there. No dice. Get a guy's nut. Keep it in my pocket. Keep it in a handkerchief. Keep it in a piece of paper. I try every single way to get this nut into this time machine, but nothing seems to trigger it. I get a guy drunk. I bring him back there. I beat him off into the time machine. Nothing seems to do it. For whatever reason, there's no connectivity there. It's like something about my cum, but I can't get hard. So what am I going to do? So I'm walking down the street and I see this guy. He's painting outside, and he's painting a landscape, and he's really good. And I just strike up conversation with him. I'm like, hey, this is beautiful. What's your name? He's like, my name's Peter. I'm like, Peter, cool. And he's like, hey, you want to come back? I'll show you some of my stuff that I've been working on. I'm like, yeah. So he takes me back to his studio, and there's all these beautiful paintings of just like still lives and nudes. And I'm noticing these nudes, and they're just beautifully drawn. And he just has a way of capturing all the curves of the body. And I noticed some kind of tingling, some kind of sensation going on down there. I'm like, this is incredible. So I say to this guy, hey, look, I've made enough money at the brothels getting guys off for a while. And so I'm like, hey, I want to commission a piece for me. I want you to describe an image that I want you to draw, right? Or to paint. He's like, yeah, go ahead. So I proceed to describe the most beautiful woman I can imagine, the sexiest woman I can imagine. I'm like, okay, she's got... her hair is up in a bow. She's got 2 ponytails, right? I explained to him what a tattoo is. I'm like, she's got a spider web tattoo going across from one shoulder, like right on the shoulder. She's got a hummingbird. She's got a Playboy bunny. I described what a Playboy bunny looks like. She's got just these amazing curvy hips. She's got one eye is one color, the other eye is the other color. She's crawling on the ground like she's a kitty cat. And I'm like, and he's drawing the titties, and I'm like, okay, you have to draw them bigger. He's like this. I'm like, bigger. He's like this. I'm like, no, bigger. So she has these gigantic titties that are just unnaturally large. And she's this tattooed beauty. I have him draw a thong on her. And even though she's crawling on the ground, she has roller skates on. And she's like crawling towards me. It's just this amazing, sexy image. Piercings, everything. And it looks like she's like snarling like into the at the viewer. And this thing is just making me fucking go crazy, So I grab this painting. I run back to the time machine. I blast into the time machine. I just take out my dick. It's rock hard at this point. I just immediately rope into this thing, and I'm sent back into the future, back into the present day, right? I'm in my house, and I have this painting with me, and I set it down on my bedside table. Beautiful image. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm back here now. It was a rough couple of months, but here I am. And so I get up, I go outside I have to go to the DMV to renew my license, and I'm waiting at the bus stop, and I see there's a guy jacking off at the bus stop. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. But what do you do in a situation like that? You just kind of pretend not to look. You don't want to confront a guy that's doing that. I step onto the bus, and there's 3 guys eating out the same woman in the back of the bus. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Like, how often? This is like, you might see this at like, 3 a.m. at like the French Quarter or something like that. You're not going to see this at like middle of the afternoon. I get to the DMV and a dog runs in front of me with a dildo in his mouth, and a guy is chasing him. He's like, give me back my dildo. I'm like, what is going on here? This is like crazy town. I look to my left. There's 3 guys fucking in a bush. I look to my right. There's a woman with a guy choking a guy and jacking him off with his belt. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then it dawns on me. I'm like, I look around. Every single billboard is pornography. Every single advertisement. I'm just, there's pornography all over. And like, something I did in the past must have altered the future. So I run home. I look at this painting, and it's signed Peter Paul Rubens, the famous artist. So he got to start making this incredibly sexy pornography, right? And that set the sexual revolution ahead hundreds and hundreds of years, So now I'm like, this makes total sense. So I'm walking and I feel just so liberated. I run outside. My erectile dysfunction is gone. I run outside. I walk up to a guy. I'm like, hey man, let me suck you off for a while. He's like, yeah, no problem. So I suck him off, and a woman comes up to me and she's like, hey, when you're done with him, can you eat me out? I'm like, yeah. And so I'm eating her out. Somebody comes by on a bike and hops off and's like, hey, I'm gonna suck you off for a while you're eating her out. I'm like, yeah, do it. And I start having sex with her in the street while I'm eating this woman out. And a car full of guys comes by, and they start slapping the side of the car and hooting and hollering, and they're naked and they're pleasuring each other and having fun. And just this whole world where any kind of taboo around sexuality has just been lifted, and people just engage freely and openly in sex, and there's no shame in it, and it's just a bountiful world of, it's not even debauchery because it's not even seen as something negative. It's just freedom to enjoy each other's bodies.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, Mike?
I think that's interesting. I think people would have maybe there'd be a higher immunity to STDs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or the technology to cure STDs would be so high.
Yeah.
Because it seems, and contraception the technology would have to be really up there.
Yeah. Or just the social conditions of, it's just like, you got to pull out. That's just a courteous thing to do,
Oh yeah, there might be a lot of etiquette that you were unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Too. I guess you couldn't really get into it, but you really painted an incredible world. I think it's something we've been building up to, as a fantasy world where everyone is super horny and everyone's casually having sex with each other all over the place.
Yeah.
Three guys. It seems like
3 guys eating out the same woman is something that you've touched on many times in your fantasies.
It's always been fascinating to me to imagine what kind of woman would want more than one man eating her out. It seems like I'm not a woman, so I don't understand how they would perceive that, but it just doesn't seem to be something that naturally happens anywhere. I thought it was going to happen in the movie Challengers. The trailer really led you to believe that there was going to be 2 men eating out a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the hell? And then that didn't happen. It turns out she was just gazing upon 2 men making out so she can better control them, keep them prisoners of her machinations or whatever the fuck. What do you think about that? I think that's pretty cool. But you want my honest answer? I think it also is like, I don't know. I like tension and fear and or torture and just intense people being intense, and this is just a kind of eliminates all of that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
in a way. Kind of just makes things, just makes like life easy.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me, is things being easy.
It smooths out all the edges,
Yeah.
you know?
So, you know, I have complicated response to it. I wonder what John would say.
Yeah. I think he'd be into it.
Yeah,
Like he has
that's
a
true,
way,
would.
he definitely steer it in an anal direction. He has a way of construing and understanding all sexual interactions in these fantasies as being anal sex. So his approach to it might be a little bit.
You'll hear a story. You'll tell him a fantasy, and you'll be talking to him about it, and then you realize, like, oh, he thinks like every single incident that happened in this sexual fantasy is like anal sex, and you have to like hold his hand and be like, no, it's hard because you have to be patient. You can't get angry at him. You know he's going to do it, and it's something that we all work on, kind of talk about. But you got to hold his hand, say, no, that was not that. That's okay that you thought that. That's nothing to be ashamed of, but that's not how I envision it. Fantasies are fantasies. Maybe you envisioned it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to write your own version.
And no matter how many times you tell him, listen, just assume if I'm talking about a fantasy, I'm just talking about standard sex, unless I otherwise indicate. You know,
It's just,
but he just doesn't
have,
listen to that. No matter how many times you tell him,
you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have to do that.
But
that means we're gonna start holding everyone's hand. It's this woke bullshit that, you know.
Yeah,
I don't want to be doing, where it's just like warning, all the trigger warnings.
Yeah,
that everyone does now all the time.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's weird that's gone, isn't it?
Trigger warnings?
Or even hysteria about trigger warnings.
Yeah, I haven't seen a trigger warning in a long time.
Yeah, it's over. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I thought that'd be sexy. I think it'd be a
yeah,
sexy
that's cool.
thing.
I think you've been working up to that. So you're into building worlds.
Building worlds,
you know.
time travels have been always fascinating. The functionality of ejaculating.
You also, gracefully imply little things about the world the characters inhabit in the sexual fantasy. For example, the security guard previously worked at a dick sucking mine. So it's just like, what is that? What reality is that? And then he goes back in time and creates a new universe. So it's like a different universe, on a different universe. So it's like really surreal stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got, Mike. We've been going at it.
That sounds
here for
good.
about an hour and a half.
I think we got good stuff. I think it was a perfect episode. I think this will be one of the best ones we've ever done. I gotta get a haircut soon. What about you?
Oh, definitely. I booked a haircut appointment and I just totally forgot about it, and so then I had to wait another couple of weeks. I'm getting shaggy dog.
Wait, you go to a certain place to get a haircut?
Yeah.
Like a fancy guy?
Well, not a fancy
What's
guy.
up?
It's okay. So the barbershops around my house are,
Say it.
they just do black hair. They do, there's a lot of, I live in a black and Hispanic neighborhood, so they have a different, there's a lot of like fades and stuff like that. I have very fine hair, thinning hair. It just cuts different. They don't see a lot of that kind of hair.
Is fine, huh?
Yeah. Fine and thinning, and I need somebody who works with that kind of hair and knows what it is.
So you go to like a bourgeois beard and hair place?
No, it's just a bourgeois hair place. It's basically like a
crazy,
hair
dude.
cutting place that a woman who really cares about like layering and stuff like that would go to. And then I show up. I'm like, make me beautiful. Daniel.
Right.
Daniel, make me beautiful.
That's